My house built the modern world. Orion may drive the lightning rail, but it's Cannith who builds the cars and lays the stones it travels on. Cannith makes the ever-bright lanterns hold the night at bay. Smith, carpenter, alchemist, the best all carry my seal. Quotation from Baron Merrick's de Cannith. Good evening, the Arcane Detective here. Today's case file is on House Cannith, one of the 13 dragon-marked houses. House Cannith's dragon mark is the mark of making, which only appears on humans. This mark helps guide the bearer in any act of creation, allowing the user to repair and create items both of a magical and mundane nature. Hence, House Cannith has played a part in the vast majority of technological discoveries, such as House Orion's lightning rail and House Lyrander's airships. The house also runs both the Fabricators and Tinkerers Guild. The house sigil of Cannith is the Gorgon. The history of House Cannith begins with the Mark of Making appearing on the humans of Corvair around negative 2500, mostly around the city-state of Metrol. The humans with the Mark of Making would serve as traveling tinkerers and repairers. Eventually, these same travelers would combine to originally make Clan Cannith. However, after the War of the Mark around negative 1500, a conflict in which Cannith was an enthusiastic participant, the Clan Cannith would form into the more recognizable form of House Cannith. At the end of the War of the Mark, the leader of House Cannith, Lord Hadrian de Cannith, would lead in the creation of the 12, a institute built on the idea of magical research and promoting inter-house cooperation. The house would also discover the Mark of Detection and force the half-elves who bore the mark to become House Madani. With the creation of the Kingdom of Galifar in 1YK, Year of Kingdom, the Coin Edicts were established, which placed restrictions on the dragon-marked houses, such as not being able to hold a grant of land and limiting the size of house enclaves. Over the next centuries, House Cannith would create many technologies, one being the House Civit's Metastations in 789 YK. House Cannith would also, in 811 YK, work with House Orion and the Gnomes of Zalago to create the first lightning rails. However, the most impressive of House Cannith's creations would be made during the last war, which started in 894 YK. The last war was a golden age for House Cannith, selling not only magical creations to all sides, but also mundane weapons and armor. Though it should be noted that House Cannith did show some favoritism towards Sire, as the house was based in Whitehearth. This caused the wealth of House Cannith to greatly expand, even rivaling that of House Kunderact. And with the last war came some of House Cannith's crowning achievements. In the waning days of the last war, in 990 YK, working with House Lyrander and Zalago, House Cannith would produce the first elemental airships, which were quickly put to use in the last war as storm ships. However, the greatest accomplishment of House Cannith would be in 965 YK, when Merrick de Cannith would create the first warfords, sentient constructs of living metal and wood, with no need for sleep, food, or water. See Warforged's case file for more details. With the use of creation forges, House Cannith would mass-produce Warforged, along with Warforged Titans, and in the last years of the war, Warforged Colossi. The Colossi were only ever given to Sire, however, they were never used due to the Day of Mourning happening in 994 YK. With the end of the war 2 years later, and the signing of the Treaty of Thronehold, House Cannith's influence and wealth decreased, not only due to the fact that the war was the largest source of income for the house. The Treaty of Thronehold put many restrictions on House Cannith, stopping them from producing any more warforged and freeing the remainder after the last war. There is also the fact that on the day of mourning, the House Patriarch Baron Sterin de Cannith and his son Norin de Cannith were both killed, along with many other of the house's heirs, leading to a schism within the house. This led to the division of House Cannith between Cannith East, Cannith West, and Cannith South. Cannith East is based in Carnath, in the city of Korth, led by Zorlin de Cannith, a shrewd leader who rose to the position of Baron in his years in Carnath. Though House Cannith used to send their heirs to the Riddenmark Academy, since the schism, this is no longer practiced. And, in general, Cannith East has taken on many of the cultural practices of Carnath. Many in the house here are part of the blood of Vol, including Zolan himself, and have taken on a very callous view of the world, leading to the Lord Censal of the house to not view Zolan as the best successor to the position of Patriarch. Cannith West is based in the Andor Enclave near Fairhaven, and is led by Jolana de Cannith. A proud woman in her 50s, Jolana de Cannith is the proper age to be a matriarch. Jolana is also the closest blood relation to the former patriarch, being the daughter of Starin's second wife. However, Jolana's past is covered in scandal, as she eloped with an heir of House Daneth. This led to Jolana being exiled to Andor for a time. Though she did recover to the position of Baron, Jolana's past makes her an unappealing candidate for the position. It should also be mentioned that in present time, Jolana has started a secret relationship with a scion of House Orion. What is even worse, and what Jolana doesn't know, is that that scion is a Rasasa in disguise who serves the Lords of Dust. Cannith South is based in the city of Sharn, though its holdings are across Breland, Zelago, and even Dargoon. Led by Merix de Cannith, the grandson of the original Merix who invented the Warforged. Merix is one of the greatest inventors of House Cannith, and is in control of the Sharn Enclave, which was a good replacement for the house seat lost at Whitehearth. Merix also secretly has the last creation forge in Corvair, and still produces Warforged to this day in secret. However, Merix is planning to make another creation forge in the city of Stormreach, which is out of the jurisdiction of the Treaty of Thronehold. Though Merix's talent as an inventor forced his relatives to take him seriously, his age and lack of experience make his claim to the position of Patriarch weak. With the Lord Censal in a deadlock for votes, House Cannith will continue to lack a former leader for the house. The only way this will change is either through disaster or death. Well, you know what they say. A house divided cannot stand. That's it for this case file. I hope you all have a good day, and as always, good evening.